Adaejah Hodge just ran one of the fastest 100-meter times in human history, a 20-year-old college freshman competing in a semifinal. And then came the final. What happened next shocked the entire sport. Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon is the fastest outdoor track on the planet. It has hosted world records, Olympic trials, and championship finals for decades. Every sprint fan knows what it means when you run fast there. The track rewards the bold and the prepared in equal measure. The 2026 NCAA Division I Outdoor Track and Field Championships were already extraordinary before the women's 100 meters even started. Records had been falling all week. Jaw-dropping performances were arriving one after another. This was already one of the great championship weeks in college athletics history. The crowd at Hayward had seen plenty of big moments, but nothing prepared them for what was coming. On June 12th, the women's 100-meter semifinals kicked off the evening. 8 spots were up for grabs, 100 meters of track, less than 11 seconds of racing, and somewhere in that chaos, history was waiting. To understand what happened in the semis, you need to know the number Hodge was chasing without knowing it. Sha'Carri Richardson set the NCAA 100-meter record in 2019 with a time of 10.75 seconds. That mark survived for 7 years. Richardson went on to become a world champion. She competed at the Olympics. Her collegiate record became a landmark of American sprinting, one of those numbers that felt like it might stand forever. Adaejah Hodge entered the 2026 championships, already holding the number 2 spot on the all-time collegiate list, with a 10.77 seconds run at the Tom Jones Memorial in Gainesville back in April. That race had also been extraordinary. Hodge crossed the line in 10.77. Right behind her, Florida State's Shenese Walker ran 10.80, a personal best. Those 2 times put them at 3rd and 5th on the all-time collegiate list, with 3 months still to go before NCAAs. But the semifinal at NCAAs is where the script changed completely. Hodge stepped into the first heat. She burst off the line, drove through the middle of the race with relentless acceleration, and did not slow down in the final meters when most sprinters start to tighten. She crossed the finish line and ran straight down the tunnel off the track, not even stopping to look at the scoreboard. She did not know what she had run. She had to be called back for spike checks before anyone told her the time. The number, 10.63 seconds, with a legal tailwind of plus 1.9 meters per second, Sha'Carri Richardson's record, the one that had stood since 2019, was gone by 12 hundredths of a second. Just as importantly, only 4 women in the entire history of the sport had ever run the 100 meters faster than Adaejah Hodge just had. Florence Griffith Joyner holds the world record at 10.49. Elaine Thompson-Herah has run 10.54. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price ran 10.60, and Melissa Jefferson-Wooden ran 10.61. Hodge's 10.63 put her 5th on the list, a 20-year-old college freshman in a semifinal at the NCAA championships. She had also run it 40 minutes after anchoring Georgia's 4x100 relay, then immediately came back to qualify first for the 200-meter final in 21.96, the 6th fastest 200 run in collegiate history. One night, 3 events, a world-class performance in each one. While the track world focused entirely on Hodge's semifinal time, Shenese Walker was quietly preparing to do something nobody saw coming. Walker is 23 years old, a senior at Florida State from St. Thomas, Jamaica. She had spent 4 years building toward this moment. In her first 2 NCAA outdoor championships, she had never reached the podium in the 100 meters. This was her 3rd attempt and her last. The 2026 indoor season had been the clearest signal of how good Walker had become. She won the 60-meter national title at the NCAA Indoor Championships in March, running 7.08 seconds to beat Hodge. Then at Tom Jones in April, Walker ran 10.80 seconds in the 100, her first time under 10.9 and the 8th fastest time in Jamaican history at the distance. But Hodge had finished ahead of her that day. And now, with Hodge in possession of an NCAA record and the 5th fastest time in world history, Walker entered the final as the 3rd fastest qualifier. Most people inside Hayward Field were already writing the story about Hodge. The women's 100-meter final at the 2026 NCAA Championships went off on a Saturday night at Hayward Field. Walker drove out of her blocks cleanly. With the finish line approaching, Hodge did not pull away the way everyone expected. Walker kept accelerating through the final stretch, closing with authority. She crossed the line first in a time nobody had predicted from her lane. 10.88 seconds. Walker, national champion. Hodge finished second in 10.93. Walker had qualified third going into the final. Nobody had picked her to win. And she won in the mixed zone after the race. Walker did not pretend the moment was small. This was the title she had been chasing for 3 years. Walker herself explained exactly how she approached the race, while the entire track world was focused on Hodge. "I would say I am the type of athlete you have to beat on the day," Walker said. "I am very confident. I do not really watch what my competitors do. Staying focused on myself and executing was the easiest thing I could have done." She also spoke about what it meant to finally reach the top of the podium in her final collegiate 100 meters. "I am a senior, so it definitely took a while," she said. "It is my third time here in the 100 meters, and I mastered it now, I would say." Walker also became the first ACC women's sprinter in the modern era to win both the indoor 60 meters and the outdoor 100 meters in the same year, finishing a collegiate career that will go down as one of the best in Florida State history, losing the 100-meter final hurt. But the honest picture of what Adaejah Hodge did at these championships is still astonishing. After returning in January 2026 from a 17-month non-intentional doping ban, Adaejah Hodge wasted no time. Despite losing 18 months during her peak development, she ran 10.77 at Tom Jones and a blistering 10.63 in her NCAA semifinal. On the night she took silver in the 100 meters, she returned 45 minutes later to clock 21.68 in the 200, shattering Abby Steiner's 2022 collegiate record by 0.12 of a second. Georgia won the overall women's title again. Fueled by these historic efforts, Shenese Walker has now announced her transition to professional sprinting, closing an elite college career with 2 national titles and a 10.80 personal best. Hodge, only 20, remains a force with years of eligibility and the 5th fastest 100-meter time in history to her name. Both athletes are now primed for the global stage at the World Athletics Ultimate Championship in Budapest later this year, but a new chapter in the end of their story, but a new chapter in a budding rivalry. For Walker, it was a masterful exit from the college ranks. For Hodge, it served as a sobering reminder that records are not trophies. Shenese Walker taught the sport always the winner. Shenese Walker taught the sport that lesson.